Hey everybody, Joy here. It is July 3rd, 2022. God bless America. Everybody has come down here to the lake to celebrate the 4th of July. We live on Lake Texoma in a state park, so lots and lots of visitors come down here on the holidays. And the lake is up like it's supposed to be, and it's hot, 102 all week. But we have a lake, so people don't care about the hot. But for me, in my household, we want to be in the air conditioning. So I decided to use my scan and cut to cut out the words, God bless America, because it's the 4th of July. I've already made one patriotic quilt, which you saw in an earlier video. I'm working on patriotic quilt number 2 that has a different panel in it. Not only does this have a different panel, it has a horizontal panel. The first quilt I made had a vertical panel. This quilt is quite different to make because it's already wide. So you really can't add a lot to the sides. You're mainly adding to the top and the bottom. So I'm going to aim the camera down at the floor and show you what I'm working on. And I've got some fabric I'm going to show you in a second at my ironing board what to do to get your fabric prepared in order to make appliques. This is not going to be out of vinyl. This is going to be out of 100% quilting cotton fabric. It's going to have the sticky already on the back, and I'm going to cut the letters out of it with the sticky already on the back. Then I'm going to iron them on to my quilt. So let me set you up so I can show you what I'm up to. Actually, it's down there. It's the red and the white, then the black border that I put on there, then the panel. The whole flag is the panel. Then another white strip and another red strip. So the letters, God bless America, are going to be out of this fabric right here. Let me move the tripod over here and I'll show you what you do to get that fabric ready to cut out with a scan and cut. I'm going to use my scan and cut mat that is 12 inches by 24 inches. It is a standard tack mat. Scan and cut comes with different stickiness of mats. They come with a super sticky for fabric. They come with a little bit sticky for vinyl. And they come now out with one that's not very sticky at all. And that's really what you need to do what I'm about to do. However, my scan and cut mat, standard, regular sticky, has been used for years now, so it's not that sticky anymore. And so it works great for this project. So what I did, I have a 12 by 24 mat. I cut out a 12 by 24 piece of fabric. It doesn't matter how big my letters are. When I did my Easter quilt, it took this much fabric just to do one letter. It doesn't matter how big your letters are. This is as big as you're going to get through your scan and cut. I think the scan and cut has a new thing where you can roll vinyl through it, maybe. I don't really know about that yet. If you know about that, you tell me how to find out about it, okay? I mean, I don't care even if it rolls 200,000 feet, it's still isn't going to roll over 12 inches. So as far as I know, I have my 12 by 24 piece of fabric. I'm putting it upside down. The right side is down. Yes, I love my steam iron. Yes, it's in my Amazon store. No, it won't be this color anymore. And it, last I checked, is $300. I would pay it again. I already have 2 or 3 times. But the last time I bought my Rowenta Perfect Steam iron, I bought the extended warranty. And that iron worked about 2 years. And as they always do, they become incontinent. It started leaking, brown water everywhere. It was horrible. So I sent the iron to get repaired. They sent me an email and said, "We're terribly sorry. Your iron is dead and cannot be revived. You get to have a brand new iron." And so Amazon sent me a brand new iron. So I highly recommend that. Heat and Bond. Do you see that name on there? Do you see that name on there? Heat and Bond. Don't miss the light part. Heat and Bond light. One side is super grainy and feels like emery board. The other side is just smooth paper. You want to take the icky emery board side and put it down, icky side down, on top of the fabric that is upside down. So I've got the right side down on the fabric. I've got the paper side up on the Heat and Bond. Now there are other stabilizers, fusible stabilizers that you can use. You can use Steam-A-Seam 2 Light, but I've only got it in 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch rolls. This is the only one I've got that's in the big roll, and I bought the whole entire roll. I probably got it 50% off from Joann's, would be what I probably did. I'm sure I didn't pay full price for it. It would be a lot. But if you're going to do a lot of this, buy a whole roll of it, and you'll always have enough, okay? I went to my cutting mat on top of my cutting table. I cut out 12 inches by 24 inches of each of these, the fabric and the Heat and Bond. Read your directions. Read your directions. Read your directions. What did she say, Earl? I think she said read the directions, Mabel. Important. Everyone is different. One of them may say, hold the iron down for 15 seconds. One of them may say, hold the iron down for 10 seconds. One of them may say, hold it down for 2 seconds, 2 or 3, and that's what this one says. No steam. You can see this has steam all over the place, but I'm not going to use the steam. It won't steam if you just hold it. But if you push the button, oh yeah. So we're just going to hold it down. We're going to move it around. 1001, 2001, 1001, 2001, 1001, 2001. If you hold it any longer than it tells you to, you're not going to be able to get the paper off of it. It will be permanently attached to the paper. You certainly don't want that. So keep moving it around. 1001, 2001, 1001, 2001, 1001, 2001, 1001, 2001, 1001. Now, just for insurance, now that it's stuck all over, just go over it one more time quickly. Just in case you missed a spot. Okay? All done. No more ironing the Heat and Bond down. Now this is important. This part has changed. When I first watched the tutorial on this, it said to leave the paper on. It said to take your material and put it down on the sticky mat like that. And then the machine came over and it cut through all this paper. That was a nightmare. At first, I complained, cried, had a fit, and I was told, you're using the wrong kind of fusible backing. Use Heat and Bond Light. So I bought a whole entire bolt of Heat and Bond Light. I did try cutting the paper with the Heat and Bond Light. It worked better, but not perfect. So now it's different. Now it's different, and other people will tell you also, not just me. Now what you do is you take the paper off. Now if you go to take this paper off and your sticky stuff comes with it, put it back down. I don't care if you held it for 2 seconds and it said 2 and it didn't. If it didn't stick, it didn't stick. But mine's gone. This is just paper now. Just paper. You can keep this to put it on top of the letters after a while to press them down with if you want to. But you can see this is all shiny now. See the shiny? Because this is now a great big iron-on rectangle. So now what you do, the new way, the new improved system of scan and cut, applique, letters, or whatever you're cutting out, kitty cats, puppy dogs, stars, is put the sticky part down. I know, it sounds crazy. Put the sticky part down on the mat. I'll show you when I do it. We're gonna put the sticky part down on the old, not very sticky mat, or you're gonna buy the slightly sticky mat. I don't know what it's called, but it's the one with the least stick. You're gonna put the heat and bond down onto it, and we are going to cut right on top of the fabric. So you know what that means. That means you no longer have to reverse your letters. Because before, when you cut the letters out with the paper on top, and you cut a great big J-O-Y, if you didn't turn the J-O-Y around in reverse, when you turned your material right side up, your letters were all backwards. See? So now that we're cutting the letters out with the fabric right side up the way it's going to be, we can cut the letters out just normal. J-O-Y. See? It's really nice. Make yourself a few little notes and you'll get it. It's really easy. All right, I'm going to go set up in there by the scan and cut, and then I'm going to show you exactly how I came up with the letters God Bless America. What we're going to do, if I can do it sideways and crooked, is we're going to go to CanvasWorkspace. If you have a scan and cut, you have CanvasWorkspace.com. Okay, I'm going to go there. I have to turn it a little bit, y'all. We are going to go to CanvasWorkspace.com. Enter. You will have to put in your information and probably a number on your machine or something, but you have this software. You also can download this software to your laptop, but you won't like it as well as just going there online. Now I'm going to show you what you do if you want to make some letters. You have to accept their silly cookies. You can always get rid of them later. You can download this software to your computer. I have it in this laptop. But to go online and use it online works much, much better, in my opinion. Okay, I have already made my project, but I'm going to show you how I made it. You see up here these signs? This sign here says My Projects. You click on that and it will take you to your projects. This is Pattern Collection. I haven't used that, but I'm assuming you can put your own patterns in here and then save them under Pattern Collections or download Pattern Collections. I don't know. This is Disney. My scan and cut, if it does Disney, it probably does do Disney. It's a brother. I don't know if it does or it doesn't, but I don't do Disney, so that might as well not be there. Canvas project is where we need to be, and then we're going to click on New. What are all those other icons? All of those others that you saw there are projects that you can click on, and they're free, and it will show you how to make whatever you saw in those pictures. So, have I ever done that? No. Might be a good way to learn it, don't you think? Okay, so what we're going to do is we've got a new one here. The first thing we need to do is go up here to the Project tab and make sure that we are using the 12 by 24 mat. There are mats that are 12 inches by 12 inches. There are mats that are 12 inches by 24 inches. If you don't start out with the size you're going to use, you're just going to have a mess and it's not going to fit. So choose the right mat. Mine is 12 by 24. Then we're going to come over here. I want to type God Bless America. So you can go in here. Here's my projects. My project's already in there. I'll show it to you after I show you how I got it. You have 4 tabs here. One of the tabs says Basic. If you choose Basic, you get all those shapes. You get circles and rectangles and squares and triangles and happy faces, Pac-Man faces, hearts, stars, arrows, all kinds of shapes, okay? That's what you get in basic. And you can definitely use those if you want to, but I don't want to. So we're going to click on this little arrow that means go back. And we're going to click on border. What does border have in it? Border has borders. And aren't they pretty? When I made Viv's quilt, I used some of these borders on the kitty cat books. And it was so much fun to do that. So those are borders. You just click on one. And then you come over here and you see how it just put it right there. And you can change the color of it. You want to change the color of it? Let's choose it. There's a little choosy arrow up here. See the choosy arrow? And you choose it and it's already chosen. And you can go here. I think it's under, let's see what one it's under. Yeah, it's under that one. This is just a little, looks like a piece of paper with a bunch of lines on it. It says show properties. So you go and you'll just learn. Just click on everything until you see what it does. That's what I did. And under properties, you can change the size, you can change the angle, and you can change the color. You can change the background color or you can change the line color. I'm going to change the line color to pink. You got to have pink. And now let's click on this one and see what it colors. And we'll color it peach. See there? Let's change the line color because we can't see it. Let's change it to this color. There you go. See there what it did? So, what difference does that make? It doesn't make any difference because it's not going to color anything for you. It doesn't have any ink in it. It's not going to color it for you. So I don't know why it lets you color it. It will, you know, you can say, oh, well, I've got that color of vinyl. I wonder what it would look like. So I assume that's what it's for. And here is another shape. When you put them up here, they always go on top of each other. So you just drag them down. Here's one I think I used on Viv's quilt. See, it always goes up there. You just drag it down. See? Isn't that fun? Of course, you need to always adjust the size. And you saw where to do that. Okay, so we are going to hit delete, delete, delete. If I can remember how, click on that, hit delete, click on that, hit delete, click on that, hit delete. Now that's pretty easy, isn't it? Let's click on this go back again arrow, and let's click on logo. What the heck is a logo? Oh, look there, it's words. Does it say God bless America? No, it doesn't. There's no God bless America in there. Is there a joy? Oh, well, there's a joy. Let's put joy over here. Look at that. Now, of course, you know you can take these handles and drag everything and make it gigantic. Or you can squish it. Or you can stretch it. See? Isn't that cool? And so you can click on it now and you can come in here and you can change it to red. Of course. Hello. We gotta have it red. And that's just the outline. So click on this. And then let's fill the innards red. Now look at that. How about that? And again, this isn't going to dye anything. It's not going to cut anything out a certain color. You just put that color vinyl or that color material on your mat, okay? As far as I know. So let's go back and see what else is in here. Here's what we want. We want the little tab that says text. Now we have to choose a font. There are not a lot of fonts here. When I was making the Easter quilt, I wanted to use a real special font. And I was not able to. I downloaded the fonts. I put the fonts in my computer. I even put my fonts over here, but they have to be SVG, and it gave me all kinds of fits. So what you have to do if you want to use a special font. Now this is what Joy did, okay? This is what I did. I wanted the letters to match these great big letters that were in a picture that I found. So I took the picture, made as good a copy as I could make from it. I took it over to my printer and I printed it. I printed it as dark as I could with it still being legible and not all smeared or anything. Then I brought it in here, and this is why you have a scan and cut. I was able to scan it. You have a 12 by 24 or a 12 by 12 mat that just has a piece of plastic that you can put paper under. No sticky anywhere. You just put the paper under there, stick it in your machine, and run it through, and it copies it, scans it. then I was able to cut those letters out. In this case, I chose this font right here. They all say A, B, C, D. When you choose a font, it doesn't matter what one you choose. Look, if you choose this one, if you choose this one, everyone puts a word text over here, and everyone prints on top of what's already there. But it shows you what the letters look like, okay? So we're going to hit delete, we're going to hit delete, and we're going to hit delete. Now we're going to come back down here to the letters that we like. We're going to come up here where it's already typed text. Now, there's probably more than one way to do this, but this is the way I have found to do it. You double click it, then you backspace. 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes text go away. Now I can type G-O-D. See? God. Then I can come over here, pick that font again. It'll say text and put it right on top of God. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to double click. And I'm going to backspace out of text, and I'm going to type bless. So now I have bless. So now I've got to type America. There, it put text up here again, right on top of God. I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to double click. There's probably another way to do this, but I don't remember learning it. America. Okay? So there's my letters. There they are. God bless America. Now I wanted my America to be 20 inches long. How can I make it 20 inches long when that mat is only 12 inches wide? And when I can only see part of the mat? Looky here. You can come up here to where it says 41% and you can shrink that mat so you can see the whole mat. Look at that now. You can see the whole thing. You can't move it like that. You have to move it with the whatcha-hoosie over here. Click, hold, and drag slowly. Okay? Fiddle with it till you figure out how it works best. So I've got God bless America there. I want America. And look, I typed America. I know you're saying, Joy, I didn't type that right. Come back in here. Backspace the A, type a C-A, and enter. See how easy that was? I want it to be 20 inches long, so I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to spread it this way on the 24-inch part, because it doesn't matter how it cuts this out. This is not a one-way design. It's just a bunch of stars. So I am going to turn it, and I am going to move it over here, and then I am going to stretch it. And remember, this is only 25% that it's showing me here. America. See there? So now it's 22 inches long, or however long I wanted it. There's grids there, and you can count the measurement, or you can choose it, and it will tell you this is 22.32 inches long by 7.15 inches tall. And oh, do I ever love it telling me that. Because when I make the word bless and I make the word God, I want them to be 7.15 inches tall. Obviously, they're not going to be 22 inches long, but I want them to be the same size. And you want to know how I figured out how to do that? Look here. I'm going to turn the word bless around. I'm going to stretch it till it's 7 point, what was that, 7.15? 7 point whatever. Okay, so there's my word. Oops, let's don't move America. There's my word bless. See my word bless? So how do I know if these letters are the same size as these letters? Notice, there's not a single letter in here that is in the word America except the E. There's an E that's the same. In the word God, there's no G or O or D in either of these, and I'll show you how I did it. What I did was I took this and I drug it down here and I lined it up so that E was on top of that E. And I thought, oh my gosh, that fits perfect. Look at that. So I decided I would let the word bless, you can move these off of here and you're not going to lose them. I would let the word bless be that way. Now let's do the word God. God doesn't have to be way down there, I don't think. Let's see if it does, to be 7.15. No, it doesn't need to be that. 7. I don't remember what the exact thing was, but we're not going by that anyway. All right. So now I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to put the O, got to kind of have it lined up straight, good luck with that. I'm going to put the O on top of the E, is how I'm going to do it. See, the O is different, and the O is way too little. So I'm going to spread that out further, and I'm going to put the O on top of the E. It's still too little. Yeah, because it's not 7 for one thing. So I'm going to make it bigger, and I'm going to drag it over that O. Now it's too big, even though it says it's 7. But I wanted to make sure. So now the O and the E are just about the same exact size. Yes. Now, that's what I did. Do you have to do it that way? No. All right, that says that's 6.70 inches high. That's 6.39 inches high. And this is 7.15 inches high. Now, why aren't they all the same? I don't know. But when I take this E and I put it on top of that E, it is exactly the same. All right? And that's what's important to me. They're going to be not right next to each other anyway. But that says it's the same size in my opinion. All right? So I'm going to just erase all of this because I'm not saving any of. What if I did want to save this? What would I do? If I wanted to save this, I would put, what I did was I did a God and I did a bless and I did America. So there were 3 different ones. So I'm going to put bless here. What I did was I just moved these over here. And first I saved bless, then I got rid of bless, then I saved America, then I got rid of America, then I saved God. So I've got 3 of them saved. Okay, so in order to save something, I'm going to put a different word here because I'll get mixed up if I save it again. All right, so I'm just going to put joy. Double click, backspace, JOY, enter. Get your little chooser pointy thingy. Make it as big as you want it. Turn it around. There's got to be a way to make it straight. I just don't know what that is yet. You probably can do it in the properties. All right, so that's joy. So now I'm going to come over here because I'm going to save this joy. And I'm going to give it a name. And I'm going to call it joy, joy. Because I've probably already saved a joy before. So I'm going to call it joy, joy. And right here with this arrow that's pointing down into a box, it says overwrite this project. Now, as far as I have found, this is the only way to save something. Even though it says overwrite this project. And there's not even a project there yet. So I'm going to say yes. It's going to make me wait. And it just said, saving this project is completed. Okay? All right, let's go back and find what we just saved. Let's go back to CanvasWorkspace. Let's get rid of this. And let's go into My Projects because now I have a project. And look at what you can see here. Oh, you know, I bought some pointers. Should have brought some over here. Now, this is hard to see even for me, so I hope you can see it. But this is the one I just saved called Joy Joy. This one right here is America, and this one right here is God Bless. So I was able to get God and Bless on the same 12 by 24 space. All right, over here is God Bless America, saved too little. So you can see here's the He is risen that I worked out, but you see this He is risen, how tiny it is? And here is the R I ended up using, and it's a great big huge R. And I got it in here by scanning it. Scanning a copy of it that I copied from the internet. That's how I did it. Over here you can see the E for he, and here is the IS for is, and here is the ISE for risen. Yeah, and here is ISEN for risen. You can see I just saved it all kinds of ways before I was able to get it large enough to cut out gigantic letters. Yeah, right here's the N. That's the N for He is risen on my Easter quilt. You want to see my Easter quilt? I'll put a picture right here so you can see the letters and how they turned out, and this is how I did them. I had to save them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different cutouts. So, now that you saw He is risen, we're going to do God Bless America. What we have to do now is send these 2 designs to the Scan and Cut. I'm on CanvasWorkspace.com. I am going to send these designs over here to the Scan and Cut. This is a redo, my friends. I had all kinds of technical difficulties yesterday with the Scan and Cut communicating with this PC. We had a really bad storm a few weeks ago, and it messed up our router box. It ruined it, and it couldn't work anymore, so we had to buy a new router box. And when you get a router box so you can have wireless internet in your house, you have to set up anything computerized with the information, and it always has this crazy password thing on it, like just 2 crazy words, yellow rabbits 1 2 3 or something. And so you have to go into your computer, also into your Scan and Cut, and you have to put that new password in there or they can't talk to each other. So I had fixed my laptop but hadn't used my Scan and Cut, totally completely forgot about that. So word to the wise. So I'm going to show you again. It's really easy to send your design over to your Scan and Cut. Number 1, turn your Scan and Cut on. Push that top little round button until the light turns green and you know it's on. Otherwise, it's still not going to get the signal. So here we are in Canvas Workspace, CanvasWorkspace.com. We are going to log in. Can't use that on this computer. Remember, which thing has what thing? Which thing has what thing? The Scan and Cut uses a stylus. This laptop uses my finger. My sewing machine uses a different stylus. I'm always getting them all mixed up. All right, we're going to log in. Hopefully I'll push the button good. Like I said now several times, you will be able to log into this and use it if you buy Scan and Cut, and they will give you a code. And you'll just put it in here and then you'll be able to use it. You have to accept the cookies. This will always come up. This is if you want to download the Canvas Workspace software into your computer. You can do it. I did it. But you will find that coming online and using the online version, it works. It's much more user-friendly. Becky Thompson will tell you that too. So we're not going to download it. We like this version better. Now you can see all the pretty little pictures here. Those are projects, and there's many, many of them. Look here, many of them. Look, they just keep going. What we want to do is send the God Bless America over to the Scan and Cut, so the Scan and Cut can cut out the letters. We're going to go to My Projects. You remember we have Canvas Project, which is where you go if you're going to make a new one. My Projects, Pattern Collection, and the Mysterious Disney that I don't even know what that does because I don't do Disney. So we're going to go into My Projects, and we're going to find the God Bless or the America one. Look here what I found yesterday. In fact, let's send it. So I decided to go look up some fireworks. I thought maybe I should put some fireworks on there. So let's send that over to the Scan and Cut, okay? Let's choose sparkles, and besides that it's in color and you can see it really good. Do you see these 2 little blue squares here? This one on the left will open the project up so you can work on it some more. This arrow here you will recognize as a download arrow. We want to download this to our Scan and Cut. We're going to do it wirelessly. You could put this in a flash drive, and you could take the flash drive over to your Scan and Cut. You can put something in the Scan and Cut and bring it over here and put it in your laptop. But since we have wireless, we're just going to send it that way. So we're going to click on download, and there we go. Now you see there it says 2 choices: download to PC or scan and cut transfer. And you can see here it shows the cloud. Evidently this software keeps things in the cloud. I never have figured out which cloud and where it is, but whatever. And so it shows here that it's going to go from the cloud, which equals CanvasWorkspace, over to, and see the wireless little rainbow right there? It's going to go wirelessly, and this is a picture of your scan and cut. So we are going to click on it. And look what it says. The scan and cut transfer is ready. Let's see if we can pull it up on our scan and cut now. This is my scan and cut, and it is the SDX225F. That is the model of it, SDX225F. You can see the green light is on. I was trying to make it so you could see the monitors better, but I think this will work better. Alright, I'm going to use my stylus so I can reach, because now the handle of the tripod is sticking in my chest. So we've got the on-off button up here. Right here we have the little house. The little house is home. Here we have a picture of a mat. You see it's a rectangle with all those squares on it? That is a picture of a mat. And down here we have the 2 dashes, which is just like a CD player or a TV or your laptop. It means pause. That will stop the cutting if you push that button. Alright, where do we go to find our starburst now? I don't know if this will push. Let's see if this will push. Let's go to home. Hey, it did. The carriage will move to the initial position. Keep your hands away from the carriage. Well, it only moves a tiny bit. I mean, a 1/4 of an inch. Okay, to retrieve and resume previous memory. No. I'm going to put OK. And now when it comes in here, I'm going to click. This is what I did yesterday. Now, I just now put starburst in here. Remember, that's the God bless. So to get rid of that, you click on home. OK to delete all patterns. OK. Now here's your main screen. You can choose pattern. You can choose scan. Let me see if I can get that to push. You can choose roll feeder. You can choose region emboss or my collection. Now I have never used my collection or region emboss or roll feeder. I have only used these 2 right here, pattern and scan. Notice down here at the bottom there's a rectangle that says retrieve data. Here's a rectangle that says test, and here's a wrench. Wrenches are lots of fun. Click on the wrench and see what the wrench does. Probably won't do anything here. Oh yes, it did. So when I pushed on that wrench, it lets me choose a cut area, it lets me choose a language, and that's already been done. But the wrenches always have secret things hidden in them, kind of like those video games the kids play. So what we want to do is find our starburst. We have sent it wirelessly. Now yesterday I should have noticed up here where the bars are, the rainbow bars showing the wireless internet, that had a big X on it yesterday. So if you're having issues with things not working right, be sure your wireless is working properly. We're going to go to retrieve data. Now we have 4 choices here to retrieve our data at. This would be if the data was here in the scan and cut already. This would be if you're going to stick a flash drive in the side of scan and cut. I don't even know what this one is. It's probably if you're connected with a wire to a computer. I think that might be what that one is, but we want the rainbow. We are wireless, so we're going to click on the rainbow. And we're going to hope and pray our starbursts are in there. Please be there. It's really nice when you're trying to teach somebody something if you know how to do it yourself. It's retrieving something. Now, where did I get the starburst? Look at that, look at that. There they are. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I love those. I've got some gold glitter and some silver glitter and a lot of different glittery things. So I think I'm going to see how those turn out. I mean, it looks like they'd be an absolute mess. And you would never cut something like this with all of these cut edges. You would never cut that out of fabric. That would definitely be cut out of vinyl. Okay, so you can see I found my design there. Now you can push save, and you can tell it save it in the scan and cut, or you could save it to a flash drive, or you could save it back to your PC. I don't need it in my PC, I need it here. Alright, it's saved in the memory. So you want to see how you find it in here now? Let's go back to home. Okay, to delete all patterns. Okay, we're not ready to do that yet. Go back. I don't want that. Go away. Okay, to delete all patterns. Yes. Alright. What we're going to do now is we're going to retrieve the data. We are going to retrieve the data, but this time we're going to look for it here in the scan and cut. One line of an arrow will go down a little bit, but 2 lines will take you all the way to the bottom. And there's my design right there. And now it's going to go over here for me to edit it and get it ready to cut. Okay, yes, that's the one I want. And here we can edit it. And so you don't need to know all of that today. That is how you transfer a design from your computer wirelessly to your scan and cut. I'm using my standard mat with the purple on it that I purchased to cut vinyl with. But now it's all old, it's been used a zillion times, and it's not very sticky anymore. So it's perfect for what we're getting ready to do. I'm taking the paper, the Heat and Bond Light paper, I'm taking it off. I'm saving it because I may use it after a while to iron the letters down. You see the sticky all over the back. I'm putting it down on my mat. Look there. Perfect fit. The mat's actually a tad bigger than 12 by 24, it looks like to me. You have to get it on here really flat. You don't want bubbles. You don't want bubbles or bumps. So they give you these little tools. They're so fun. It's like baking a cake or making a pie or something. Hopefully y'all can understand this video and learn something from it. I'd like to start over and redo it, but I just can't. I have 2 tips for you after doing this and editing it. 2 tips. Number 1, when you're putting your fabric down with the Heat and Bond's going to stick to this. You don't need to do the roller. It makes the 2 stickies stick together too much. Just press it down with your hands. If the very edges are lifting up, take some Scotch tape and tape the edges. Tip number 2, take the tape off before you do anything else after it gets through cutting. Take the Scotch tape off. I have forgotten to take the Scotch tape off, then I put a new design on, and then the cutter cut all over it, and then I had 500 little tiny itty bitty pieces of Scotch tape. No. The tape goes on easily and it comes off easily if you take it all off at once. So I hope that makes sense. Tip number 3. I only had 2, now I have 3. Do you see my little pointer? I bought 2 of them. I have a red one somewhere. And I bought this pointer because I was pointing at my kitty quilt and I needed something to point at it with. So I bought a pointer. Guess what else this is really, really good for? It is an awesome stylus for the scan and cut. For the monitor on the scan and cut. Because you can make it as long as you need to make it. When I was doing my video, I had it out like this and was poking the monitor with it. And that way it doesn't cover up the screen with your hand. And it's long enough and hold onable enough that it's comfortable and it works great. So that's my latest tip. Let's get back to the original video now, and I'll show you how I cut out all those letters. Now we have got to put this in a certain way. It'll only go in one way. It has to go in a certain way. You see that arrow down there at the bottom? That arrow has to go into the machine. You can't put this end in or it's not going to work. All right? So we're going to put this end in. See, here's my note. Make yourself notes. For fabric, heat and bond down on used standard mat. Cut with pressure of 3 to start. No half cut. Gold blade. See? Make yourself some notes. It will really help you. I'm so excited. I just now found that note. And where was it? Right there, staring me in the face. Put it over there where it can't be covered up. We're going to put this in here. And before you tell it what you want to do with it, you're going to feed it into the machine. It's like you got to put the thread in the sewing machine and the bobbin in the sewing machine before you can start. You got to feed this in here. So we're going to push this little button right there that looks like a mat. See how it just went in a little bit? It's looking for that arrow. It's like, okay, you put the purple arrow in. Now you can play, okay? So this mat is ready to cut my letters out. But I have nothing to cut out up here. I have got to find my word America so it can cut it out of these stars. How do you find your word? Now, I found out the coolest way that you can use these friction pen tips as a stylus, because the one they give you is so little you're going to lose it and never find it again. So we're going to use retrieve data. See right there, retrieve data? And where is the data at? Where did we send it? We sent it wirelessly through the air from my computer over to the machine. So you look for those little rainbow stripes that mean wireless, and you click on that. Whenever you're trying to teach somebody something, something is going to go wrong. What happened was, everything I showed you is exactly correct. But when I came over here to the scan and cut, nothing was saved. I couldn't find my God Bless America. So I had to put on my thinking cap, and it's like, what the heck, what the heck? So then I noticed up here these little rainbows. See the little rainbow right here in the corner? It had a big X through it. And I'm like, well, what the heck? Why does a rainbow have an X in it? That's not right. Then my lightning fast mind remembered. Our box broke. There was a bad storm and our box broke. You know the box that gets the wireless signal to go all through your house? Ours is a Netgear, and it broke and we had to go buy a new one and we had to hook it up. Well, when that happens, you get a new password. You know, you turn your box upside down and there's this really weird saying, and you have to put that in as your password. So I had to go in here and I had to put the new password in for it to take the X off the rainbow. Yeah, see? My mind learned something, and that's good for Alzheimer's, huh? Have you all heard that? Okay, I've got my mat ready to go. No, I don't, because it kicked it out. So we're going to push this mat button so it will feed it in and see if it has the proper end of the mat feeding into it. And it does, so it's fine. Now we're going to find America. I'm going to cut out America first. So we're going to come in here and we're going to go to either choice of pattern or scan or roll feeder or region emboss or my collection. I have never even looked at those screens before today. What we're looking for is down here at the bottom. There is a rectangle that says retrieve data. There's a rectangle that says test, and there's a little square that has a wrench in it. We're going to choose retrieve data. Then we've got 4 choices. Is it on a flash drive? Is it over on our computer? Is it here in the machine already? Or has it been sent wirelessly, and do I need to find it that way? So here's the rainbow. Click on the one with the rainbow, and it's retrieving. And there it is. God bless. Only I don't want the God blessed one. So I'm going to save that one. Save, and then it's going to let me save it here in this brain, I think. I think it's going to let me save it here. It probably already did. Saving, yeah, it's saving. It's saving it here in the computer. See, saved in the machine's memory. So now it's in the machine. So I don't have to go look for it anymore on retrieve data. But I still need to retrieve America. So let's see if we can find it. I'm going to go back to home. Okay, to delete all patterns, yes. Let's go back to retrieve data. And let's find America. America. And I don't see America. Hey, you know what I think? I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to get rid of that one. No pattern in the affected area. Okay. You know why? Because the rainbow area can only hold one design. Only one. So I have to come back to my laptop. See, isn't there a lot to learn? And all these little things nobody tells you. They just tell you like nothing ever goes wrong and nothing ever happens. Alright, so here it is. America. So what we want to do now is we want to scan the mat. My mat is like maybe 1/4 of an inch down from the top. And this might decide to start cutting up here in that bare spot. I don't want it to cut up there in the bare spot. I want to be sure the entire America is on fabric. So what you do is you scan your mat and it will take a picture of your material. Want to see? How did I decide how to keep the letters straight and in order and the way they were on here? I took a measuring tape and I measured from the far left of the A to the far right of the America. And it was some measurement. I don't remember what measurement. And it was some odd measurement. So what I did was I took the measuring tape and I folded it in half and I made a mark. You see that little purple mark right there? Right there, that little purple mark. That was halfway. Then I made a mark on the halfway of the letters. The halfway was the E. I think the halfway was the E. So I made a halfway mark on the halfway mark of the letter with this purple friction pen. So then I pulled the letters off. I brought this banner, I brought this border over here. You can see I haven't sewed it to the quilt yet. See? It was just laying there next to it on the floor. The top banner's still there. I did that on purpose because I'm going to have to sew these letters down and I don't want the entire quilt to deal with. So how do you think that looks? So here on the C, where's the C? No, the E, A-M-E. See here on the E? See that little purple mark? And see that little purple mark? That's halfway. That is halfway of the letters. In that E is the middle. So I ironed this border in half and in half again. So I have the 1/4 line right here. I have the middle line right here, it's a fold. And I have the other 1/4 right here. I just wanted to make sure that I got these letters in the middle of this border. So I placed the center letter first. Right there it is, the E. Then I measured over and I made a purple mark where the beginning should be, and I made another purple mark where the end should be, and then I just lined the letters up as good as I could to make them look like the original letters on Scan and Cut. So there's my America. Now I'll take an iron and I will iron them down, and I think it says hold 4 seconds to iron them down. One of the letters, it's the dot. A little bit of the sticky came off the dot, but that's okay. I'm sewing that dude down anyway. It won't be a problem. America, isn't that wonderful? I was going to make the letters be on the white and the red, but I decided it was a lot easier to line them up right there. on that line. And I left them just a tad off of the red, because when I quilt it on the long arm, I will probably, I am probably going to custom quilt this and quilt around all those letters. Looks like I need to pull that up just a teeny bit. Okay, so that's the end of this. I will come back and I will show you how I sew the letters down. I've done that lots of times, but I'll show you again how I sew them down. And that'll be a different video. But that's all I'm going to show you for today. I hope you liked it. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. I really love to read them. Bye for now.